You know them, you probably love them. They're these tiny predators that have somehow completely taken over our homes and our hearts. We're about to dive into the incredible 10,000-year story of the domestic cat. It's a wild journey from a solitary hunter to, well, an internet superstar.
So, let's just get right to it with a question that, if you have a cat, you've definitely asked yourself. I mean, when that little fluffball is screaming for food at 5 in the morning, who is really in charge here? It's a funny thought, but honestly, it's the key to understanding their entire history with us. Okay, so our story kicks off way back, and I'm not talking about leashes or collars. This was more like a handshake deal between two totally different species, an agreement that was made right at the very dawn of human civilization. All right, so check this out. It all boils down to one thing: farming. About 10,000 years ago, we humans figured out agriculture. We started storing huge amounts of grain. And what does a big pile of grain attract? A huge new problem: mice and rats. But, where there are mice, their predators are never far behind. And that's when the African wildcat, Felis libica, shows up. It saw our grain stores and basically thought, jackpot, an all-you-can-eat buffet.
And here's the crucial part. This wasn't domestication like we see with dogs, where we actively train them. Nope, this was a straight-up deal. We got this amazing silent pest control service that kept our food safe. And what did the cats get? A constant, easy source of food and a pretty safe place to hang out. They literally chose to be near us because, well, it just made their lives a whole lot easier.
But this, this practical, business-like arrangement, it didn't last. Things got weird. The relationship spiraled into something way more dramatic. The cat's status in society started swinging between two wild extremes. Either they were worshipped like gods, or they were hunted down in fear.
And yeah, let's talk about the peak of their power, because this is just incredible. In ancient Egypt, cats weren't just helpful little mousers. Oh no, they were considered divine. They were seen as the actual living embodiment of the goddess Bastet, who was this fierce protector of the home. We're not just talking about people respecting cats. This was state-enforced worship. You literally had to. And the Egyptians went to some pretty extraordinary lengths to show how much they loved them. I mean, get this. When a family's cat died, the whole household would go into this deep mourning and shave off their eyebrows as a sign of respect. Archaeologists have even found entire cemeteries just packed with thousands of mummified cats. They were buried with the same care as people. That's how sacred they were.
But as cats started to spread north into Europe, things took a really dark turn. Their divine reputation just vanished. During the Middle Ages, their cool, independent, nighttime vibe was suddenly seen as something sinister. All of a sudden, they were being linked to witchcraft, pagan stuff, even the devil himself. And black cats? Oh, they got the worst of it. People thought they were literally evil.
And this whole superstition had a truly devastating, world-changing consequence. Here's the tragic irony, right? By hunting down and killing the very animal they thought was evil, people accidentally let the real problem run wild. The rat population exploded, and with it came one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, the Black Death.
Okay, so after centuries of all that myth and superstition, we finally started looking at our feline friends a bit more scientifically. And what we found is pretty amazing. They have this incredibly complex and fascinating way of communicating, a language they basically developed just to talk to us.
So let's break down how they talk to you. First off, the meow. Wild cats, they almost never meow at each other as adults. That meow your cat gives you is something they evolved specifically for humans, kind of like they're mimicking a baby's cry to get our attention. It works. Then there's the slow blink. That's basically a cat kiss. It's them telling you, hey, I trust you, I feel safe. And the head boop? That's them rubbing their scent on you, officially marking you as family.
And then there's the purr. It's probably their most mysterious sound. We all think it means they're happy, and sometimes it does, but it's so much more than that. The frequency of a cat's purr, it's in the specific vibration range that studies have shown can actually promote healing and bone density. So when they're purring, they could be calming themselves down or even healing themselves. And hey, maybe us too.
And the science totally backs this up. There are tons of studies showing that living with a cat has real, measurable health benefits. Just having them around, hearing that therapeutic purr, it can literally lower your blood pressure, reduce stress hormones, and just make you feel calmer. They're not just pets, they're like little furry wellness managers.
So, okay, they've been worshipped as gods and hunted as demons. How in the world did they stage the ultimate comeback? Well, their final march to global domination started in a very unlikely place.
It all started at sea. When we entered the age of discovery, ships were everything. But ships had a huge rat problem. It didn't take long for sailors to figure out how valuable a good cat was for protecting their food and cargo. So, cats became essential crew members, and on these ships they traveled to literally every corner of the globe, basically colonizing the world right alongside us.
And what's so wild is how much their job has changed. I mean, today, their role as a pest controller is almost a fun fact. Now, they are first and foremost members of the family. They're therapy animals with scientific proof to back it up, and of course, they are the absolute, undisputed kings and queens of the internet.
Just to put their popularity into perspective for you, check out this number. Over 90 million pet cats in the United States alone. Globally, we're talking hundreds of millions. They have successfully infiltrated our homes on a scale their wild ancestors probably couldn't even imagine.
I mean, just think about it for a second. These little creatures have been with us through the rise and fall of entire empires. They've gone from being gods to being demons. They've been silent witnesses to all of human history. And now they've conquered our final frontier, the internet.
Which brings us right back to that first question we asked, but now with a little more context, right? After 10,000 years of them carefully positioning themselves smack in the center of our lives, from our farms to our laps to our social media feeds, maybe they're not really our pets. Maybe we're just their staff. What do you think?